Revelation 2 Undersink Water Ionizer, taken straight out of the box. And inside the box you get the brand new Revelation 2 base, which has been redesigned to be smaller, sleeker, and easier to install. You get, of course, the state-of-the-art Revelation faucet with all the controls built right into the head, and your alkaline water spigot on the top and your acid water spigot on the bottom, and of course the connections. You get the Revelation 2 manual, which is very thorough. It goes over all the different types of water that are in the EOS and the different settings you'd want to use for those. Of course, you get the power cord. You get your 5/16 inch tubing, your 1/4 inch tubing. The 5/16 inch tubing is used for the alkaline water, the 1/4 inch is for the acid water. You get your clamp for clamping your faucet to your countertop. You get your pH testing drops. You get the adapters for connecting the 1/4 inch and 5/16 inch tubing to the faucet. You get your 1/2 inch cold water line diverter valve for diverting the water from underneath your sink to the Revelation base. And finally, you get a water pressure reducer for those of you who live in high water pressure areas such as Houston, Los Angeles, and other cities. Okay, so the first step in installing the Revelation 2 is that you need to get a 1 1/4 inch hole drilled. Now, most people have a utility plug in their sink that they can pop out that is exactly 1 1/4 inches. That'll work perfectly with the Revelation. If you don't have that, then you need to drill. So you're going to need an 18-volt power drill, and you're going to need a carbide saw. And it's very simple. You just put your carbide saw into your power drill, tighten it up, put it over your hole, or where you want your hole to be drilled, and simply drill it. Okay, now that you've got your 1 1/4 inch hole drilled, the next step is to take the beautiful Revelation 2 faucet and lay it down carefully somewhere so that you can access the bottom of it. And on the bottom you're going to find your communication cable, which connects to the base, and you're also going to find a 1/4 inch stem and a 5/16 inch stem. So you just want to take the adapters that came in your little box and plug the 5/16 inch stem adapter into that 5/16 inch stem, and then take your 1/4 inch one and plug it in there to the 1/4 inch. And they just pop in just like that. Okay, now that you've got your adapters installed to the bottom of your Revelation faucet, next step is to simply get your communication cable into the hole and gently place your Revelation 2 faucet into its hole. And you should know that these swivel. Once you get it clamped in there, you'll be able to adjust the alkaline water dispenser and the acid water dispenser to any position you like. Okay, now I've got to take my Revelation clamp and I've got to put the little rubber thing on there before I actually clamp it to the bottom of the Revelation 2 faucet. So, and it's not actually clamping, it's screws, you know, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. So, you know, it just screws in there to clamp your faucet to your countertop. Okay, now that you've got your Revelation 2 faucet clamped to your countertop, the next thing you want to do is locate your cold water line spigot. And your cold water line spigot is always on the right. Your hot water line spigot is on the left. So find your cold water line spigot and then follow the hose to where it goes. Okay, next I need to follow the line that's coming off of my cold water line tap and follow it to where it connects to the bottom of my sink, and that's what supplies the main faucet. So I'm going to unscrew the hose where it connects to the bottom of the sink, and I'm going to place the 1/2 inch diverter valve just like that in between the hose and to where it connects to the bottom of the sink. So this is your 1/2 inch cold water line diverter valve as it would look installed underneath your sink. So you've got your rivets that the cold water line hose is going to screw into, and then the top part is going to screw into the bottom of your sink. Over here you have a 1/4 inch knob that simply unscrews, and you can see that is going to be the little nub that your 1/4 inch line is going to fit over. So to complete the installation of the 1/4 inch line to the 1/2 inch diverter valve, you simply press that 1/4 inch tube over the nub and then screw the bolt over the tube so that it is secure. This is the bottom of the Revelation 2 base. You have your water inlet. This is where you're going to install the line from the 1/2 inch cold water line diverter valve. And then you have the alkaline water outlet. This is going to accept the 5/16 inch tubing and connect to the bottom of the faucet. And then you have your acid water outlet, which is going to accept the 1/4 inch tubing and connect to the 1/4 inch adapter on the bottom of the faucet. Now each of these outlets and inlets has a plug installed into it, so you're going to have to remove those plugs in order to continue with installation. So your Revelation came with this little handy dandy wrench. All you got to do is take the wrench and put it in between the dust filter and the plug and just pry it right out. There you go. With the plug now removed, all I have to do is push in the 1/4 inch line that comes from the cold water line diverter valve, and that is now all installed. The next step is to remove the plugs from the alkaline water outlet and the acid water outlet and insert the tubing into those adapters. I have now removed the plugs from the alkaline water and acid water outlets, and I have inserted the 5/16 inch line into the alkaline water and the 1/4 inch line into the acid water outlets, and I have put the tubes into these little tube holders that are on the bottom of the Revelation 2 base. So these tubes are now ready to connect to the faucet. The Revelation 2 with its 13 by 13 inch footprint looks awesome sitting underneath any sink, and there's plenty of room, as you can see, for other things to go underneath the sink. So once you've got it, your Revelation 2 base put underneath your sink, the last step is to connect the communication cable. And that's just going to connect to the cable that is dangling off the bottom of the faucet there. Now that you've got the power cord plugged into the base, your Revelation 2 faucet is all powered up and ready to go. It has 8 preset levels. You've got Alkaline 1, Alkaline 2, Alkaline 3, Alkaline 4, and you've got Acid 1, Acid 2, Acid 3, and Acid 4. And there's also a pure water stage for taking medication and such. And to turn the water on and off, all I got to do is press the on and off button.